Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Honish, Ed Lapachet, Miguel Antonio Barragan, bringing you the wonderful world of boxing. And hopefully, Miguel won't say BFF again. I got that offline, so that's more than enough for me. Go to our website, boxingtonight.io. You can follow all of us on social media, at FightFiendMiggs, at Lee Honish. We are available. In fact, I was on Snapchat the other day for no good reason. Apparently, people still use that. Apparently. Go figure. I thought it was out of business, much like Twitter. But hey, we have that too. Feel free to go to boxingtonight.io. We have boxing schedule, boxing news, and of course, every imaginable way to listen to the show. So let's update from last week, which was what was the fight that made you love boxing? We actually got comments. We got feedback. There were two overwhelming winners. Andrew will like one, if not both. Chavez Taylor. My lord. Chavez Taylor was popular.
Nice.
And then the other was Ollie Frazier won. I can't even remember Ollie Frazier won.
Well, one is at the Madison Square, isn't it?
Yes. It's a few days after my birthday, actually. Well, before I was born, of course, but it was like March 8th, something like that.
Yeah.
1970 something. Yeah.
Well, a shout out to everybody who participated on social media and told us their favorite fights and favorite fighters. It was it was actually different to have actual interaction. It's the newer, kinder Fight Net Radio, where we're kind, mostly. With that said, joining us on the show, Bob. Yes, you guys have demanded it. Bob's back. Well, I think Fury's going to wait to see how the Joshua fight goes. And then he'll make a determination of what he wants to continue. Other than finding the winner of Joshua Usyk, there's nothing really out there. I know that a bunch of fucking has-beens want to fight him, but he doesn't want to do that. There is not a problem now. But if it's not announced in the next couple of weeks, my voice is going. It really is. I'm not sure how long I can keep doing Bob in my life. So the date of the fight and the time. So the big comment here, or the takeaway, right, is exactly what we projected. He's going to take his, whatever the one belt world championship white bullshit thing is. And there was actually a story as well from the WBC giving him more space. He's going to fight the winner of this fight. Anybody disagree with that, Andrew?
No, but I want to talk about the Joe Frazier Ali fight.
All right.
Because you brought it up. Fans brought it up.
Fans brought it up.
That's one fight in boxing, man, that Joe Frazier does not get enough credit for. He really doesn't. On the all-time list, on the beating Ali list of opponents. That fight, they were both undefeated. That fight, Ali was the favorite. He was coming back to the sport. This is a huge fight in boxing history. Two undefeated heavyweight champs went up against each other. Not only Frazier beats him, but he drops him late in that fight. Yeah, everyone always talks about the Thriller in Manila. The Thriller in Manila. You really never see that. And I'm just saying, it was like, that's how special Ali's fans were for him, right? They don't even talk. They try to forget about this first fight and go right on to the Thriller in Manila.
Africa? Well, think about it today. Like, would we?
Yeah,
really?
But the other one's Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Remember that Frank Sinatra's the camera guy because he couldn't get a ticket. Remember, that's how huge this fight was.
Well, Bob Arum, it's still the Mecca. It's always going to be New York.
One of the biggest drug lords. What was that? What was the actor Denzel Washington? What's the character he plays in that movie?
Yeah, no, the drug dealer. Yeah. He got front row.
Yeah, they're all, who's this guy sitting in front of the mafia? Bam, now he's busted.
Well, here's the crazy part to all of that, right? So, talking about Top Rank apparently bought all of Don King's videos. Like, he's got everything. Top Rank has been putting out on YouTube videos left and right. I just watched Ray Mercer knock out Tommy Morrison again, which is actually TVKO. Bob apparently bought everything. Bob is the Godfather.
Yeah, but it has like I guess top rank commentators.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is
Yeah.
kind of weird. And like this is one thing. I mean, not to like jump off the topic of Ali and Fraser, but this is one thing that kills me when I watch some of these fights, like some of these
Wasn't
old
Bob
fights,
the promoter of that
and it
fight?
has. I don't know, most likely, right? But like, when I watch old fights and I see, like, for example, the DAZN actually has like their app has a bunch of old fights, like old Oscar fights that were on HBO, and I'm like, man, I want to hear fucking Lampley and Merchant. That's how I remember the fucking fights. Like, I don't know if HBO is listening, but HBO, if you are listening, I as a fan would gladly pay a monthly subscription to get a fucking access to the full boxing library with original commentary. Please, HBO, if you're listening, I would totally pay for that. But anyway, Fraser Ali. And then, one thing I remember about this fight specifically
on a Monday. How insane
one
is
thing
that?
dude, Ali's fucking jaw after this fight. Holy shit. That left hook, like, straight up cracked his jaw nasty. That dude's jaw was swollen as fuck. I don't know how much damage it did to his jaw because, he wouldn't stop talking anyway. But, that's what I remember the most. I mean, obviously, I wasn't around for this fight, but watching, replays of it when I was younger, that's one thing that I remember the most is seeing that, like, right side of his jaw just swollen like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
On a Monday night. Can you imagine?
Damn. Times have
No
changed.
radio,
Jeez.
the fight, no home TV. It's all closed circuit. That was the beginning of the closed circuit era. Like, I think you had to go to other, like, they did it in other arenas, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. On a Monday.
Damn. Have you guys ever done that? Like, there's been a few times where they've had like UFC fights at like a whatchamacallit, like a theater, and I never went ahead to do it. But did you guys ever do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, we both did for De La Hoya when he dropped weight to get paid, I believe.
Oh,
Was the infamous drop weight got paid. We had to go watch it on a video screen.
Damn.
Well, no, but I also went to movie theaters. I went to go watch Hopkins Jones 2, and there was only about I think we were the only ones in the movie theater.
Yeah, the weird part is I still
there's
did
like
those
7
things.
people. They were all my family to watch that fight.
And there's a company that still does stuff like that, like live on Broadway, like that still exists. And every time I go to these things, like to a concert or whatever on a movie, like it's me and like 3 people, and it's creepy as shit. It's just weird. But yes, for sure.
Now with vape pens, it might be a better experience. But I think the thing that was holding people back is there's no alcohol at these movie theaters, right? We're at home. We're at home. You can still party and watch the fight. At these things, you got to be, no one wants to be on their best behavior for a fight. So you got the crowd that still wants to drink. Well, hopefully the vape pens can help boxing out with that.
Legal. Yeah, legal. It's legal in the 2 places that matter, and it'll be legal in New York shortly. So, yay for everyone. But yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I really think Bob Arum promoted this event. I did.
Did he?
As a matter of fact, I think there's even. I think I just heard there's movie theaters that have alcohol now. Have you guys seen that?
With recliner seats, dude. When I go to when I go to a movie now, there's one that's literally over a restaurant with a bar sitting right in front of it. They're recliner seats with waitresses who come to your seat, and you just recline all the way back. It's
I might have to try that
awesome.
again. No.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think you can get rowdy though. I mean, that's the shitty part. Like, even if you do drink some or vape some, I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to keep a lid on shit. It's like, yo, relax. There's kids here.
Where was I? I was just at a comedy show 2 weeks ago. Everybody was vaping at the comedy. I went to go see Jim Gaffigan, I think, and everybody was vaping. Everyone, like, they don't even try.
We went to. You remember when Cheech and Chong tried to make their comeback?
They still are technically.
Well, this is like, all right, one of their first comebacks. We went to their show, and the people in front of us actually left because of. Oh my God, I can't believe there's this so much smoke. We were like, are you serious, lady?
Are you serious?
But it was insane. But yeah, they walked out. They told her, "Get up, we're gone." Like, oh my God.
I always tried to figure that out. My daughter wanted to go see Pink or something like that, and I'm like, I just don't know if you're ready for that. I mean, I remember going back to concerts in those days, but I don't know. Boys are different.
I used to work at a movie theater when that was my first job as a kid, and like we had that movie How High we actually had that shit. Oh my gosh. Just going in there. I worked in concessions, so I didn't have to go into the actual auditoriums, you know. But Jesus Christ, just going in there and checking, seeing the fucking fog in that damn auditorium, and then as soon as people left, you know, like going in there to clean, we're like, damn, we're getting like contact high just by coming in and cleaning after these people leave. Goddamn.
Well, I don't want to state my age, but I'm actually old enough to remember you could actually smoke in a movie theater at one point. Like there'd be little ashtrays.
Oh
Fuck.
wow. Yeah.
That's for real. Oh well.
There's this place in San Francisco, Miguel. The men's restrooms still have ashtrays on by the urinal. It's like a fucking straight throwback to back in the days. But yeah, man, ashtrays by the urinals.
Oh my God.
It's like those tin ones or metal
okay,
ones.
so
something.
like my last memorable thing with my dad, we flew from Vegas up to like Alaska to go salmon fishing with the Desert Inn. The back of the plane was smoking. The whole plane was billowing in cigar smoke and alcohol. Like it was a complete free-for-all of high rollers. Like I think about it now, like the no smoking thing seems so obvious to me, but fuck. And they put smokers in the back of the plane. I used to smoke. Ooh, terrible. You still smoking, Andrew?
No.
You stopped again.
Hey, oh yeah, no, it's been years though.
Good boy.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit? I used to smoke in the Las Vegas and Reno buffet still. Remember that? That was the last thing they took from us, man. That was it. That was awesome. You could be full on food and just light up right at the table. That was awesome.
Well, hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. There's a little insight on everyone today since there really isn't any news. Let's jump back into Aram projecting this fight. So, as we expected, Tyson has clearly sent out his feelers on this. He's going to see if this Joshua Usyk thing is for real. I could have put up 50 Joshua stories. I'm going to train different. Usyk's already picking out guys that are the size of Joshua. Like, this is all really going to happen. And he's going to wait for the winner.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. We talked about him doing this. The guy wants, 30 million, 35 million a fight now. He's not going to get that every time.
You're not going to get Otto Wallen at 30 million.
Not anymore. Yeah, it's just he's out of that price range now. And I think Tyson just put his foot down, as in he will take no deals. When that phone rings, it better be for 35 million plus whatever comes after that. So, yeah, of course, he's still throwing it out there that the winner of Usyk Joshua can definitely give him a call. It generates that type of money.
All right. So the bigger question is, does Usyk win the rematch? I don't think Joshua's going to change. I mean, maybe he'll discover the jab, Andrew, and get it right, but
too early to say that I think Joshua is going to learn from the time off that he's had, and then plus you have everything else that's playing in effect with Usyk's life right now. It's either going to be a big time motivator or something that's going to, derail him. But I think because of Usyk's background and where he comes from, I'm saying it's going to be a motivation thing. And if I was Joshua, I'd be pretty scared.
If he got the Klitschko's to walk him out. There was actually stories last week we didn't get to that Klitschko almost came out for another Joshua fight again. Like, he was really close. And his wife talked him out of it. But, Miguel, exactly what we expected?
We figured, like, we kind of came to the conclusion, right, that there isn't anybody, I guess, outside of maybe Francis Ngannou at some point, right? Some sort of like mixed type of shit. Maybe that will generate that kind of fucking, right? Yeah, but I mean, I think that'll be like his coup de grace, like that'll be it. Like, once he does that, win, lose, or draw, he's going home with a fucking 100 mil or however many. So I think that won't happen until this gets settled with Usyk or AJ, where the fuck it is for that matter. Because I mean, we expect, well, so I don't want
AJ's
to discredit.
It's not
He,
a good
well,
fight for him.
I don't
It
think it's his
really is not
chin.
a
I
good
think
fight
it's
for
his
him.
fucking heart. That's what it is. I don't think it's his chin. I think it's his goddamn heart, man. When he, throws his best Sunday punch and he can't take you down, he kind of wilts a little bit. I feel like kind of that's what happened when he landed. I mean, it's not like Usyk came out completely unscathed in that fight with AJ, but AJ wasn't able to land his shit, probably because he went in there with the wrong game plan of trying to box the better boxer, the naturally smaller, faster boxer. It's like, no, you don't try to match with that, man. You do the Klitschko, you do the fucking Lennox Lewis. You do
Jab,
the
jab, jab.
jab, grab.
The Eastern
Lean
assassin.
on him, lean
Jab,
on him.
jab,
Get
jab.
get him tired and shit. Use your advantages. And I don't like. I wouldn't say. I want to say that Usyk will win the rematch because we called it the first time. We thought even AJ was gonna like duck him and go around, to avoid it because we all knew that Usyk was the monkey wrench, and it happened anyway. And sure enough, it happened. Usyk came away with the victory. But the way we saw AJ change from that first fight with Ruiz to the rematch with Ruiz, okay, so we at that point we kind of get the impression that AJ is smart enough to kind of like change the game plan and come in the second time around. I just don't think he can do that with Usyk. I just don't think. I wish we can say we can, but it doesn't look like it. The bigger fight is the two English dudes, right? AJ and Fury. However,
AJ and
Usyk,
Fury at Wembley
at
in front of
Wembley.
100,000.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
it'd be tough.
unfortunately, then that would be like a money maker. Usyk maybe not as much, obviously, but from what's looking like, actually, when the hell is this fight? Anybody know when AJ Usyk 2 is going to happen?
All right, so
'Cause I don't know when
Wait.
because I mean Fury's gonna have to be waiting a long ass time though. So I'm saying like he's gonna have
fight
to
is
wait.
definitely happening. The 23rd is the date, July 23rd, and they're talking the Middle
Oh,
East
July
still.
23rd. Okay, cool. So July. So let's see here. So what? After that, maybe another 2, 3? No, actually more like 3, 4 months before
Yeah.
maybe they get going. So by the end of the year, all right, that's not too bad. I guess he can.
You could definitely
hang
do
out.
Ngannou in the meantime and make an
But
extra
I
payday.
don't think no. I mean, he'll make a humongous payday, I'm sure. But no, I think that's just too. That should be his like cherry on top of his career. Fuck up and gone on the way out, and that would be it. I don't think he should do it in the meantime.
Did you guys see the video? Now I don't know when the date of this thing was, but the one of Tyson Fury wrestling.
Oh,
Who
Nick
is
Diaz. It was Nick Diaz. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that an old video? Is that new?
I haven't seen the only ones that I've
I
seen.
think he has an
that were
amateur
older.
background, if I recall.
I don't know about that, but like
He didn't look too good.
No, he didn't.
Well,
I mean,
I
he's
don't look
green
to
as
be
fuck.
doing
I
it
mean,
anymore.
Hey, at 6'9", I didn't expect him to go down that easy, Miguel. I was like, oh, come with Tyson.
Just gotta learn the guard.
Oh,
Just gotta
damn.
learn the guard, bro. Just
Yeah,
gotta learn the
I mean-
guard.
Dude, when you go up against big dudes when you're grappling, you know how to use their weight against them. And Nick Diaz is no joke on the ground, obviously. So the way he kind of toppled over like a fucking turtle like that, I was like, oh, that does not look good at all. Shit.
Yeah,
So
hey, listen,
go
you
ahead.
guys. It was so bad. I was like, listen, this is the first thing I thought. I need to know the date because if this is recent, I think Tyson's fucking with people. He can't be that easy. Miguel was like, that was too easy. He like clinched, ankle pick, you're down, he's on top. It's
Well,
over.
no, that's
Like,
what Randy Couture did to
To James Toney.
James Toney.
Yeah.
was an ankle
Not
pick.
the
No,
same
not the
athlete.
same athlete. Of course not. No,
Not the same athlete. That's comparable right there.
And I actually
no.
interviewed him and asked him, I go, you went basic. He goes, well, yeah, he doesn't know shit.
Yeah, and he swung and fell down one time in the boxing ring, Lee. All right, that's how fat James Toney was at the end of his career.
Yeah.
He took a punch and fell down. So,
Well,
yeah.
I think
It's
the
kind
big
of
difference.
embarrassing
Well, because I've actually
in and out of
watched
the
like
ring.
real Pan Am big jujitsu, like heavyweights.
Hmm.
All the heavyweights pull guard. All the heavyweights pull guard. There may be 4 of them who don't, and they're just really fast guys. But the other 100 guys in the heavyweight division that I competed against or that I saw even at the black belt level, they all pull guard. They all pull guard. Like big guy jujitsu, big guy wrestling is dumb.
Well,
It's
if I was
slow.
Dana White, I'd be trying to make that fight in a heartbeat. I still don't. That thing should be viral. That's why I don't know when it came out, but it
Okay,
should be
so I-
viral.
Check this
And
out.
that's-
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I was looking for it. I just Googled it real quick. It looks like it was from May of last year, so May of
Okay.
2021. So it was pretty
Okay.
recent still. So, I mean, in a year's time, if he dedicated himself to grappling, which maybe he didn't, obviously, because he's got other fights going, between then and now. But if you can really learn quite a bit. Like you
You
really
can.
can. And considering Ngannou isn't exactly a grappler himself, I mean, yes, he did surprise everybody when he beat his previous opponent,
He went and learned it.
He went and learned
quickly.
it, right. But still, you can pick up some defensive stuff relatively quick. It's just I guess it depends how good a grappler Ngannou has gotten since then. But anyway, a year ago he can make some advancements in a year, I'd say.
Yeah, you only need.
And did you guys notice Terrence Crawford released a wrestling video?
I saw that one.
Yeah, it was good.
He looked good there. Yeah, he fucking cradled that motherfucker. That shit was sweet. That was nice.
A very athletic family. His daughter loses her shoe. She went viral on her own. She loses her shoe at track meet. She goes back, leaves. She adjusts the shoe. She stomps the shoe in. Then she starts running and beats him. It is incredible. Then Crawford's wrestling an MMA guy and puts him in a cradle. So, pretty good family. They're pretty good genes.
We're coming up on graduation, Andrew.
Oh, it happened. Yeah, it happened. Yes.
Mine's not till June 9th.
Yes, sir. So, got a party in 2 weeks. The party's in 2 weeks. So,
Yep.
Yesterday we just took her. She wanted to go In-N-Out. We took her to In-N-Out Burger, and
what an easy child.
Huh?
Mine wanted me to watch Moon Knight on Disney. What an easy child.
There are times, yeah. She took off last night though. She's been gone all night. Yeah. She hasn't come home.
Canelo Golovkin is on. Is this for real?
Miguel, she can't just jump out the nest and go to her school. You know what I mean? She's about to be out of this house here in a few months. So I have to let her spread her wings a little.
Grad night anymore?
Yeah, you gotta give her a little bit more freedom.
But down here, you get grad night at Disneyland overnight. We used to.
Yeah, they had. She went there. Yes, they went
the
there.
Overnight, right?
Yes. They did that about 2 weeks ago.
That's where I saw Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine.
No. Now you're really aging yourself. Jesus.
I really am. Climax, Gloria Estefan, Mr. Mister. Yeah, that was the 86 grad night. Yeah,
Nice.
Definitely aging myself. Is this for real? Are we getting Canelo Golovkin finally? Does anybody have anything to dispute this?
Unfortunately, it looks like we are getting it from all accounts. Everything from DAZN's own websites or an Instagram accounts and a few other ones. I think Eddie Hearn, Matchroom. I think they put theirs. It's official. So even
September 17th. They're really.
Although I haven't heard anything from Triple G. We've heard Canelo. We haven't heard anything from Triple G saying like yes. I mean, unless I unless I missed it.
I believe he did. Yes, I believe he did put it on his Instagram feed too.
What weight? Okay. Have they set a weight?
Super middleweight, I believe. Yeah, 168.
168, right? He's going to come back down and do 168, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and then Triple G's moving up. Technically, moving up because he's been middleweight this whole time.
All right, so let's just hypothetically say Canelo got old by doing this crazy run up to light heavy. Okay. Mm-hmm. How great a moment for Triple G to step in and take him out. How crazy would it be?
Yeah, it would be. Man, I think he'd retire. I think if he fucking
Triple G could
beat Canelo and maybe even
him
took him
before
out.
The Bivol rematch. He's already talking about the Bivol rematch too.
Yes, and then during the post-fight interview, he's going to be like, "Mr. Bivol, you're welcome. Here you go. Take him. You can take him now."
It's a real drop off for Canelo's legacy if he loses to Triple G because it validates all the haters saying that he lost, if not both of them, at least the first fight to Triple G.
For sure,
right?
For sure, or at least close to a draw. Let's just call it what it was. A draw is fair, all right?
Well, that's what they gave it. Yeah, that's what.
And I think Canelo truly won that second fight, no question.
Yeah,
I thought he outboxed him. I thought he looked better. He was at the height of his game. But now you're coming off a loss. You need this to go get your Bivol money on. Because we're going to talk about, I think they, did I put it up? No, I didn't. But their numbers were crazy. Canelo Bivol did crazy numbers. It did like 5 million at the gate or something crazy.
500,000, I think it did.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view buys?
Mm-hmm.
Pay-per-view, isn't that what they announced?
Yeah, but the gate was like it was like 30 million or something crazy at the gate. Like they did crazy numbers.
I
Really
don't know
can't.
if the B-ball rematch is hotter than a super middleweight unification with
No.
Charlo.
Yeah, with Triple G. No, it's not. I don't think so. Even I mean, these guys, Triple G and Canelo, they got beef from years back. So that build up is going to be bigger. So I mean, I'm pretty sure we could have figured this out, right? If Triple G was in the mix, yeah, this fight is going to generate a lot more than a before rematch.
Yeah, it's 20
Yeah,
and 30 million apiece, at least.
And this is exactly what Triple G wanted, right? This was the carrot on a stick that Matchroom and Eddie Hearn or Tommy Hearn put
Yeah,
on
Tommy.
that fucking put on
Get it
that
right.
on that
He's the one.
contract, right? That DAZN contract said 100 million, boom, guaranteed. Here's and then kind of tentatively said, yeah, we can get you Canelo a third time, sure.
Oh,
This is-
it did.
Oh
it
my
did. They
God.
never let up off this fight. They protected Triple G this whole time. He's been served nothing but B-level opponents this whole time, and then they finally got their fight. Yeah, I definitely think that was one of DAZN's things in the contract that he would get a third fight with Canelo.
Kudos to Canelo for. Okay, so Triple G has been notoriously quiet for literally the last couple of years. So Canelo's angle for this fight, he just won't stop talking. I'm sorry. The dude doesn't say anything. He lives in Santa Monica. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just making that up. But good on Canelo for going in as the bad guy. I mean, really, does Mexico support Triple G or Canelo?
Well, I'm sure Mexico supports Canelo, but like the Southern California Mexican Americans, I'm sure they're gonna support Triple G because I mean I've seen them with their fucking hats on. They're hating on Canelo.
They live in Santa Monica. They live the life,
right? They get it. They hate Canelo, so of course this is why they're clamoring for this fucking fight. And by the way, I still think that this is a lose-lose for Canelo. Besides,
it's a bad fight.
The paycheck. Obviously, we understand that, right? But tossing that aside for a second, he beats Triple G. They're gonna say, Triple G got old. Or they're gonna say like, oh, Canelo waited till he got old for the third fight. Blah 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 blah. Right? That he beat an old man, and if he loses to Triple G, well, he lost to an old man. So I don't think it's a win for Canelo other than the paycheck. But from what we can tell, from what we've seen from Triple G's previous performances, he didn't look that great. So I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo knocks Triple G out in this one, and does the fucking Pacquiao Marquez like, okay, grand finale, that's it, no more. I knocked him the fuck out. We can stop talking about it now. But we'll see. But nonetheless, oh yeah, you best believe Southern Californians, they're gonna root Triple G to the fucking bone.
Oh yeah,
This is gonna be like when Barrera returns from the Morales beating, and I won't even say beating because I thought Barrera won that fight. But
yeah, the first one.
When he loses to Morales and he has to fight Pacquiao next. Or no, it's the other way. It's Morales. Morales loses and then goes in. Sorry, had that fucked up. Morales loses and then goes in to fight Pacquiao. Everyone thinks Morales is done, and then Morales hands it to Pacquiao in fight one.
Yeah.
Yep. Beats him in fight one. So that's kind of what
it's
Canelo
it's
has
a
going on
lose-lose.
here.
Actually, the upside to this contract is Triple G.
What's scary for Triple G is he's a shell of his former self. He's not Manny Pacquiao. So I would be very nervous. Canelo has a chip on his shoulder coming into this fight. He wants to prove all the doubters wrong. If he is still in his prime, which is questionable. It is, and I don't care about his age.
Career.
It's about
his
longevity
career
in the sport.
Yeah, it's about the miles that he's got on him. Yeah.
The miles. He might, it happened to Chavez. Chavez woke up at 31, 32 and was old. That was just it. The decline started and there was no stopping it. Canelo, with his style, is all reflex, is all timing. Mm-hmm. It is possible. I'm telling you right now, when he had to put up his hands, Canelo forgot you have to pick off shots too. Like he never practiced that. He picked up his hands and B-ball punched right through him. He didn't know what to do. He was like, hey, I have my hands up, but you're not blocking shit. You get into that mode where you don't know how to defend yourself. Your only defense was head movement and you lose that. Yeah, it's going to get real bad for him. Now, I don't think Triple G is the guy to do it, but because of age and the fact that Triple G's looked terrible in some of his last few performances,
Benavidez? Could it be Benavidez the one to do it?
All upside for Triple G. I think Triple G can reinvent himself on one night.
What I like
he's
about,
got to dump everything into it.
Well, we'll see. He's got his date. What I like about Benavidez, Miguel is he does throw a lot of punches. He goes for broke.
Mhm.
What's sloppy about him is how he leaves his chin exposed during all of it. David Benavidez is the type of guy that when he hurts a fighter and goes after him, he's very vulnerable to getting hit and knocked out. Do you ever guys remember Jorge Castro versus John David Jackson?
Sure.
Oh yes, that Action Jackson. That motherfucker?
Yes.
Yes.
I was hoping Lemieux was going to throw a left hook like that. When Benavidez, it was just so hands down to the waist. Yeah, he's throwing a whole shitload of punches and he's trying to knock the dude out, but you can't be that exposed. Someone like Canelo, I think, would have it in him to throw a left hook or something. So David, yes, he does have the output to probably give Canelo a hell of a fight right now, especially if Canelo plays the way he did against Bivol. But
it's not a $30 million fight. Nobody's paying for Canelo.
Man. The PBC, they got a fan base, Lee. They got a fan base. They're very, look at Gervonta. When I'm not jumping, I'm just using an example. 18,000 tickets sold. Looked like the place was packed. They were loud.
I think it was Raleigh that sold that fight.
Oh,
he
shit.
took his ass beating like a man.
PBC. But that's still PBC. So
right. It's still PBC. Yeah.
Yeah. So they might. The Bivol numbers weren't great. They weren't great. I don't know if Charlo or Benavidez attached to that ticket would bring 1 million buys. It just might.
We'll see. It all hinges on September 17th, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It does. That's the beginning. That's
literally the beginning of the middleweight division.
Super middleweight.
Super middleweight. You know what? I don't get that shit either.
Now,
okay, well, yes.
Right now, I'd be nervous if I'm Triple J. I guess I'm looking past it, and I should.
Right now, I'd be looking for a new trainer.
But Canelo's so pissed right now. He's so mad. He's losing weight again. He looks so. I just don't want him back at 175. I'm dead serious. Listen. He lost to Floyd, and he's been chasing greatness ever since then. And his greatness was going to be, I'm going to be the most undisputed fighter in 4 divisions. Floyd's never done that. He doesn't care about other fighters than Floyd Mayweather. Floyd's never done that. I did it. Now I'm greater than him. Fuck that loss, and he moves on with his life. Well, it didn't happen. He's got to come back to reality, man. All this looking up at all of his opponents, the guys are 200 pounds while you're a fat 180. You got to throw all that shit away. He can become the greatest super middleweight of all time, still become an all-time legend. He'll go up against names like James Toney, Roy Jones Jr., Mike McCallum, right? There've been some great Sugar Ray Robinson, great fighters in those divisions that
he's a Hall of Fame boxer, no doubt. No doubt Canelo gets Hall of Fame.
Yeah, what's that?
I would say Canelo's 100% Hall of Fame level.
Yes.
Middleweight division.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, Hall of Fame's not hard in boxing to get into. We're talking about the all-time great. You know, that argument that fans can have at bars leave for hours, right? I think that's where the fighters.
Would Canelo have been able to handle a James Toney in his prime, the way he threw?
Yeah, see, that's the argument.
Right?
It's a beautiful fight.
Or Roy Jones, for that matter.
James Toney would be too inactive. I think James Toney would be too inactive.
You need a Roy Jones
for that one. What's that?
Roy Jones would be the fight then.
Oh, Roy Jones would be the fight. Fuck yeah, that one definitely. But I mean, the way James takes too many rounds off, and he just kind of like throws fewer punches than his opponent as he tends to, because James Toney is a very good counter puncher, so he tends to wait until his opponent fucking opens up. And if Canelo's active, I think he'll win a decision. It won't be the best fucking fight, but it'll be a decision, I think.
We're talking the Michael Nunn James Toney, though, the Iran Barkley James Toney. There's two different Toney careers.
Oh, what about Hopkins at that point?
Cruiserweight, post cruiserweight.
Yeah, man. Soon as Tony's not the same guy once he gets that tire around his waist, that man. But when he was in his prime, wasn't he like? I think it's Mike Tyson.
He was trained by the right guy, though. Okay, look, he was trained by a guy that taught him to throw 100 punches around. For God's sakes.
Yeah,
in his prime, he threw.
Beat, man. When the inside fighting, the combination punching that he had on the inside. Look, Hopkins never faced him. Roy Jones beat him. I had Roy Jones the favorite in that fight, but to me, Roy Jones is untouchable. I don't know if there's a fighter, and Chavez is my greatest fighter of all time, but Roy Jones, I think, is untouchable. You put him in any division, he's untouchable. The skills that he had, the speed, the accuracy, he could go 12 rounds. The defense, the reflexes, he had everything on Roy Jones's fact sheet. It was 100. There wasn't, his chin doesn't get exposed until years later. I mean, that's to
At the
me
end of the
irrelevant.
career when he was
We're
doing
talking
money
about
chases,
the
but
fight.
he did what Canelo did. He went middle, super middle, light. He did
Heavy.
cruiser. Didn't he take Tarver on?
Yeah, he goes ahead.
Yeah.
He went all the way to heavy.
Yep.
He was a beast. Roy was crazy. And it's clearly showing at this point. He's not all there, but, whatever.
Looks like he's calling out Anderson Silva again.
As he should. Deontay Wilder's back in the news. I can't stop now. I must continue with my journey. Well, he did the ayahuasca, so let's see what his crazy comments are now.
Okay.
This moment of time, my goodness. In the midst of this journey, I'm being blessed. Oh, you're going that route. It's not like I'm retired, and it's been like 10, 20 years. This is now that I'm getting my flowers. What? This is now that I'm getting my flowers. Did that sentence actually come out of him?
This is now that.
All right, what else have you got, crazy man? I can't stop now. I must continue with my journey. I love you guys so much. I can't end like this. This journey's not over with. I must continue my journey. All right, so you want to know the name that they're throwing around? I didn't put it up because I just refused to give them time. They're going to put him in with Otto Wallen.
Oh, what?
Otto Wallen's coming off the C list of YouTube TV. Yeah, that's the name they're tossing around for the comeback fight. Otto Wallen.
Out of obscurity.
Ugh.
Wow. Well, they better put it for fucking free on Showtime or some shit. Like something. Fox,
oh my God, it'll be
something.
pay-per-view knowing the PBC.
Oh, I know.
It would be nice. It would be nice to see Wilder's star power and put him on Fox. Put him on free. It's his return.
Oh, can you imagine on a Sunday
See what his
afternoon?
ratings are.
Yep, the comeback, like make it a big deal and be like, he's back on the comeback or something like that and put it on for free. Let people see, what he was about. Because, I mean, with Showtime, I don't know what the subscription is for Showtime, like how many people have Showtime subscriptions and how many of them are actually boxing fans. But, like don't do the Showtime, don't do pay-per-view, especially against someone like Otto Wallin. Because if I'm not mistaken, when Wallin when he fought Fury, I think that was on ESPN Plus. That was like, the day before the fight. So it's like, to go that same route. You saw what it did for fucking, for Fury.
Do they still
do
have
the same
the Fox contract?
Yeah, as long as they're with Showtime, I thought that was the same like umbrella. So I figured they would be. I'm not sure, though.
CBS owns Showtime.
And they don't own Fox?
No.
I
Fox is wait. Who owns Fox? Fox is owned by somebody totally different.
Isn't it Disney?
No, Disney's ABC.
Damn, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought as long as they were with them, I thought it was still. I thought like
they just bought that
Showtime.
Fox contract. Oscar had that contract for a while too. Oh well. Well, he's back, kids. So all you
does it have like a
lovers,
date? Does it have like a date
no,
or anything?
There's no date.
No?
He's just announcing. And by the way, Boxing Scene is a complete shill for the PBC, so I wasn't shocked by that. Crawford, I'm 100% confident.
Wait a minute. The real story. No, if you want to see crazy,
one on his shirt.
if you want to see crazy, the real story was his statue being revealed and
What?
In
yeah.
Tuscaloosa or wherever the fuck it's from.
Yeah, man.
Tuscaloosa, Mississippi.
You got to Google that. Not only what it's suspect what Deontay's wearing. It's like a Mad Max sort of uniform outfit. He is talking to the statue like it's alive. Like, I don't know. He's like looking it dead in the eyes, holding its face.
Yeah, caressing, he's like caressing his face. Like he's like, oh my gosh, this is me.
Yeah. It was,
because I just watched Rocky IV. He should be throwing his helmet at his statue.
Yes.
Rocky IV style. And go that raw in the Alaskan outback.
You can kind of hear people like kind of laughing, but like not sure if he was like kidding or joking. And then some people were like, is he being serious? Like, what the fuck are we watching here? It got a little strange there for a hot minute.
Ayahuasca.
Like, he loves himself that much, and it's like, oh my gosh, I look fantastic in bronze.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca.
Yikes.
Statue was talking. Oh my God.
He's like, "You're back, King. You're back."
You're back, my king. Go
Yeah.
take the world. You are number one. Put that shirt on.
Oh my lord.
Uh, Well,
I'm
I got to
seeing-
be honest. The heavyweight
Uh-huh.
division is in flux. I mean, who do you have? Like, so the glamour division is always going to be the heavyweight division. Okay, we can all say it's the middleweights. We can say it's the welterweights. Cool. Everybody take a breath. It's always going to be the heavyweights. It's always going to be the heavyweights.
Oh yeah, and Lee and Wilder shouldn't retire. The man has 2 defeats by Tyson
crazy
Fury.
knockout power. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Crazy ass knockout power.
he's still a great interview. He's in good health. He
He's
has great.
insane.
He's a great
Oh my God.
entertainer in the ring. So
He's Mike Tyson level crazy.
yeah. So no, I don't. I think it's absurd how people said he should walk. And there's a lot of money still to be made.
Sure.
Even
Even if he's only going 10 mil a fight or 5 mil a fight, he can crank that number constantly. He can fight 3 times a year against scrubs like Wallen. And just build, as he puts it, I need a body count.
He can also rebuild his career back to a $40 million fight. I mean, by fighting scrubs. So the sky's the limit still for Deontay. Now, granted, this is without us knowing what his health is. What the ring has already done to him. His ear might be a factor. His arm might be a factor. His legs. He's had every excuse in the book why he's took in some defeats. So I don't know where he is physically on the health wise, but on the outside looking in, he has a lot of money still to be made in the sport. I wouldn't see why he would walk away just after 2 defeats to Tyson Fury.
This just in, Paul and High in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why my computer does that now. I hate Windows 11. Hey, Crawford really thinks it's going to happen this year. Should we all bet? I feel like we should bet on whether or not Spence will actually do this.
Well, are we going to bet that he does it this year or that he does it like in general?
Ever.
Like we're going to put. Well, we have to put a time limit. I mean, there's no ever. We have to put a time limit on something.
No, I'm still holding out for Pacquiao Mayweather, and I've been on that kick for 5 years. I still think it's going to happen.
They actually fought in 2015. So
Wow.
we're
I've
going
been on it. I've now been on it for 7 years, calling the rematch.
Hey, but you know what? There was one fight. I think if Duran Leonard, it came back 8 years later, Lee. So hey, you're not out of the.
I'm not out of the running yet. I'm not out. And they both need money. Manny Pacquiao came in 3rd in the election.
Oh yeah.
Mayweather's out of money fighting scrubs in Dubai. Yeah. I still see this as a very viable exhibition. It's supposed to be an exhibition.
When did they fight? 2011? No, 2015. 15. Okay. Oh Lord.
It's supposed to be an exhibition. Don't stop nothing. All right.
Yeah, there is no tomorrow.
I think the fight happens this year, you guys. They're both under the PBC umbrella now. And even though Crawford hasn't signed, all signs are pointing that his next fight, if it's not under a 3-fight deal, it's only a 1-fight deal. He's going to be working with Al Heyman now, which is fine. He finally gave in, and hopefully he makes a lot of money over there on their pay-per-views, fighting Al Heyman's guys.
Did he settle his suit with Top Rank? Does anybody know, or did they quietly get that thing out of court without news?
I haven't
been another word about it since the case.
I haven't heard anything about it. Like, honestly, he just kind of went under the radar.
Right?
I don't think
I bet they just, here's some money and go away, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Here, go to PBC, make some
Just
more
go to
money. Here's a
PBC.
small check.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Or he brought photos of him with about every other major athlete in the sport, colored, brown, black, white, anything, Jew, Christian, Catholic. Bob Arum and Top Rank has worked with everybody, with everything. Like it's absurd. You might have seen a judge throw it right out and not even look at it. So
On the
there's
show,
always
Top Rank Bob.
there's always that angle.
Listen, he's a single. That's it.
That's right.
I can't even believe he said that in a press conference. It's a single.
But he was right. But at the end of the day, he was right. Nobody ran after Terrence Crawford. You seen Eddie Hearn immediately came out and was like, the dude, he's delusional with what he thinks he should make. And to be honest with you, I wanted to end the Spence Crawford one with, I don't remember who just came out and actually said that. But someone said the fight will get done this year as long as both of them come to a reality on their money. So do
It's
you
going to go
remember
to purse bid.
during
Somebody
that
will purse
recently?
it. I'm sure. They're not even at purse. It's just crazy. I want to see this because I want to see Spence get beat. The only reason I'm into this, I want Spence down. And I know Crawford can do it.
Fucking beginning, dude. I've heard that from the fucking beginning. As long as these guys don't, I mean, they can, break it down to reality and have like this realistic, realistic like value on themselves. They're like overinflated at this point. Basically, they think they fucking deserve the moon and back. So I've heard
stupid.
I haven't heard that lately. You know what you were talking about, Andrew. But I heard it from like back then. But really more so like but the first few times that this fight was going to be made or like this talk in the talks, I heard it specifically about fucking Crawford. Like I didn't hear that both these guys need to be realistic. I heard it more like Crawford needs to fucking realize the motherfucker's not the superstar that he thinks he is in his head. So he should be more realistic on what he's asking for. But I haven't heard that specific phrase brought up again in regards to both fighters. Just originally when the fight was going to be made. But I mean it makes sense. It makes sense. These guys can just get over their fucking diva, like overinflated what do you call it, egos, and that have this perceived value of themselves. It's like, yo, if we're gonna make this fight, we're gonna make this fight. This is what we take risks is all about. This is what happens. This is how you become great. You're gonna have to take a big ass fucking risk and go for it. And yes, I know you want to get paid, and it's not like you're not gonna get paid, but let's be realistic on how much you're gonna get paid here.
Yeah, it's that stupid O.
And
I don't know what it is with fighters that make.
I do think the fight's going to take place. Just an FYI. Like I think it's gonna. I'm kind of hesitant on saying it'll be this year because it is already late May, almost June at this point. So I wish. I mean, we still have 6 full months to go, so I wouldn't be surprised. But this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking at some point Crawford takes on another PBC dude, like I don't know, Danny Garcia or some shit, sort of as a tune-up. I mean, it's fucked up to call Danny Garcia a tune-up, but nonetheless, like he's gonna do one of those, like fight another PBC dude. In the meantime, Spence might get somebody else as well, and then boom, we're gonna get a fight next year. So I'm thinking it won't happen this year, but it will happen. Spence Crawford next year, 2023.
There you go. I don't know. I really don't know. Be a great unification. There it is. Otto Wallen would love to fight Deontay Wilder. I bet you would.
Is this his promoter? Is this
the guy that I put in his
12-year-old kid?
Yeah,
that 12-year-old dude.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I think Otto would love to fight Deontay Wilder what? I think Otto would love to fight Deontay Wilder if Deontay Wilder.
Well, keep going. What does it say?
Keith, what are you doing, Keith? What? That doesn't even. Yeah, it's Dimitri, the guy that I put in his place.
Yeah.
I think that's a great fight that makes a lot of sense for business. Otto gave Tyson Fury the most difficult fight of his career. A little. That's a good cut.
It was
obviously,
but I mean,
Wilder lost to Fury twice in their memorable trilogy, so I think that's the fight that makes most sense. And I've actually reached out to Team Wilder and let them know Otto can be available. There you go. And he's PBC. Put a nice body on his record.
Yeah, it can be done. It can be done easily. It's going to be.
That's I guess
fight.
It
sort of depends.
That's a good, healthy tune-up fight.
It is. And then it's not only a tune-up fight, but like it kind of we're going to get to see Wilder where he's at mentally. We're not going to put him up against another top dude quite yet because that was a pretty serious ass whooping that he got. Huh?
Who's left at the top?
I guess, yeah. I suppose. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. But I mean, Wallen is a good fight. It's a good test. It's a real good comeback fight. It's one of those Mike Tyson, Buster Mathis Jr. on Fox type of deal. It's like, all right, come back, boom. He could see Mike Tyson knock someone the fuck out. Let's do this with Wilder. It works.
Wallen, Helenius, and Ruiz. I think we're all on his radar for comeback fights.
All right, so
or the Kalinowski dude. Add the Kalinowski.
Kalinowski. Yeah, you got to add Kalinowski.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ugh, all PBC. Ugh,
yes,
crap.
and they're all like white dudes, right? So I mean, besides Ruiz, of course, but it's like, hey, people are gonna want to watch that.
And Helenius just mopped Kalinowski, though. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Helenius is like 6. There was no reason for him to go away. These are all PBC guys that their fans will accept. I don't think pay-per-view. I think Andy Ruiz definitely would be
TV on a Sunday afternoon. Or a Sunday night. That would be great.
Wherever else. Showtime. I like the Showtime.
Right after football season, like the late game, you do it right after football in Vegas. It would be great. You would do millions of views on Fox. I don't know if you'd want to go up against football. I think you'd want to squeeze it in now, maybe on a Saturday night, but it would be great. Errol Spence, Yorgandias Ugas generates $5 million at the gate and sold 37,000 tickets. So wasn't it the PBC that said we don't release numbers? You guys want to recall my history, but I believe we did that story of the PBC and Showtime doesn't release numbers because we have people to pay. Why suddenly are we releasing numbers? Because you guys finally had a real gate?
Yes. Something worth sharing, basically.
Yeah,
I remember
Espinosa
saying that shit. I remember
That's a
Steven Espinosa
crazy
saying
number.
that shit. I remember Leonard Allenby saying that shit. Yep. I specifically remember them saying that.
And here you guys go on your biggest shill boxing scene. Like a press release. Way to go, Jake.
That's what it was.
They
Is
gave
that
out
what this is?
3,800. They gave out 3,800 comps. Total fans were 40. They sold 250,000 units, which we never released the event, though the most optimistic projection indicates north of 250,000 units.
Damn.
Still not bad for this fight. Nobody knows.
Yeah, I mean, 250. I mean, that's the pay-per-view buys. It's obvious, that they're trying to. I mean, it is good. These aren't bad numbers.
No, they want to sell Spence, right? So
Right.
you're selling Spence and Crawford like at AT&T or something.
Yes, yeah, they did better, with the live gate and the tickets sold and whatnot. And you notice how the pay-per-view buy wasn't part of the title of the article. That was like later on in the article.
Oh yeah, it's buried.
Compared to
and they went back
else,
to their classic line. Well, we don't do that. We never release pay-per-view numbers.
Yes. But
Yeah, 'cause they
250,
suck.
I mean, 250 isn't bad, but I mean, that's a little low. That's like, how much was fucking Porter and Crawford, like 230 or something? Like, or no, maybe I was less than that.
It
Sorry,
was
but,
190. Their pay-per-views was 190.
Gotcha. So this is what 60,000 more, pay-per-view buys, something like that. So it's not that much better than Crawford Porter. I mean, it is better regardless, but it's not that much better.
There you go. Moving on.
What I'm trying to look up is what the live gate for Porter versus Crawford made, because that's that could come up into percentages, right? Who's gonna get the most? If he goes, well, I generated 5 million my last fight, you only brought 2 million. That those numbers are gonna talk when it comes to the negotiating on this fight. So I was trying to see what actually Porter and Crawford made, and I am not seeing that. I don't know if you guys know where to get Las Vegas live gate numbers from, but I can't find where they released the Crawford Porter fight.
Why would they?
Yeah, all the articles that I'm showing are just talking about the pay-per-view buys, the attendance, like how many people, but as far as the live gate, no.
Not a good sign.
And they're talking about Vegas for Crawford Spence.
Because I mean, once again, now it usually is. I've always been told the buys would or the live gate would show you what the pay-per-view buys are going to do. They never announced the sellout. The pay-per-view bombed. So it's Crawford probably needs to come down heavy on his number. I don't know if he's going to do
60-40 probably. He's got all the belts.
I know Crawford's listen, Crawford's undisputed from 2 divisions. He was at one time, if not the best, he's number 2 in the world. He has his own resume too. And darn it, the PBC really stole this from Crawford, but Crawford beat the man. He beat Jeff Horn. He didn't just beat him. He moved up and knocked his ass out. And that's the dude that beat Manny Pacquiao. So all this shit about Spence and anyone else from the PBC being the number 1 welterweight in the world is actually bullshit when you break down the numbers of who beat who. They've made this the history because they're fucking they just program their fans and they didn't even show Crawford sometimes on the rankings when Crawford barely hit the PBC rankings. There was years the PBC acted like they were their own fucking world. Like their fighters are the only thing that mattered on these rankings, and the fans totally bought into it. And all of a sudden Spence became over a 2-time undisputed fucking division champion and the number 2 fighter in the world. His resume speaks over that bullshit.
It is bullshit.
And
And
I have
what they're going to do is they're going to bank on
Uh-huh.
Crawford. They're going to bank on Crawford.
I have like a inquiry on that. I know we're looking at Crawford as the man because he beat Manny. I mean, I'm sorry, because he beat Horn, who beat Manny, right? But that part, I'm a little. I mean, that's not to say that Spence is necessarily the man over Crawford because of this. But if we look at Manny Pacquiao, if we're going to look at the man being from there, his two previous fights prior to losing to Horn were Vargas and Bradley. And prior to that is when he lost to Manny. I mean, I'm sorry, when he lost to Floyd, and Floyd basically was the man. So after he loses to Floyd, Floyd goes off to do his fucking thing, and Manny comes back and beats Jesse Vargas and Timothy Bradley. I don't know if I would consider him the man after those two wins, which then he ends up losing to Jeff Horn after that. So that part,
I think on the rankings,
though,
Miguel, on the rankings, he was number one. No one else's resume is better than Manny Pacquiao when Floyd leaves. He went 12 rounds with Floyd too. He didn't get knocked out by Floyd. So I think the rankings still showed Manny number one when Floyd leaves. He wins a title. And one of those fights, doesn't he win a title back?
Yeah, when he beats Jesse Vargas, he took a belt from Jesse Vargas.
So he wins a title back. He is the man. Manny Pacquiao has the best resume in that division. And Jeff Horn beat him. Now, I'm just going off of history. Like, we can argue, did Jeff Horn win? What did he look like? Was he the best? And that's all irrelevant when you talk about he was number one. Horn beats him. Horn should be the guy at the Cambosos beat Lopez. He's the guy, but Jeff Horn, that fight sucks. So fuck him. He's not number one. No, that's not how it works. Then he gets knocked out by the undisputed junior welterweight fucking champion of the world. That dude's number one. The undisputed comes up and knocks out the guy that beat the number one ranked fighter. You are number one in the division. It's bullshit that the PBC was able to rob that from Top Rank and from Crawford, but they did. They hijacked.
That's the problem, right, Andrew? Right? So the PBC is not Bob Arum. I mean,
no.
Bob actually always gets his rematches. Like, he makes the fights happen. Like, that organization gets it and protects their fighters. And I don't mean in a protected way, like, go fight him again. Right?
Yeah.
Go fight him again. They've always done that as an organization. PBC, you lost. It was close. We might have helped. You're done. Ugas is not getting another shot at Errol Spence. Guaranteed.
We might.
No.
What we need to see, though, is if the PBC can pull off this fight now they don't have the help of ESPN or Top Rank. They have to pull off one of the biggest fights in the welterweight division's history. This thing is going to go down legendary in the record books.
Oh, yeah.
Spence and Crawford, if they both go in at their moments right now, that's why I was going to say there is no reason for a build up to this fight. I'm sorry. This is undisputed for all the belts. We know these guys. We know them. They're here.
Absolutely.
We go right to this fight this year.
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah. No. Yes. And I think the fighters want it though. Why? Who else needs to know him, man? Crawford's freaking.
So here's the PBC move that they didn't do. But if you look when Top Rank stepped in with Deontay, he's gonna need a 3-fight contract.
Hey, Lee, did you see what Top Rank always used to brag about was how many buys came from the ESPN side?
Absolutely.
That's what Bob Arum used to brag about. You never seen the PBC argue that.
We used to get HBO numbers. Showtime's the only one who plays this bullshit game.
Now they need to put it together at least a $40 million guaranteed purse. Yeah, 2020 each. That's just to get them in the door. They need to put that together without fucking PBC, ESPN or Bob Arum.
Yeah, for sure. Which takes us to all the fun of last night. And there were only 2 fights to talk about. Spike O'Sullivan and his mustache and Irisindy Lara. First of all, how old is this guy? Jeez.
39, I think he's now.
Good Lord.
He'll be 40 later this year, I believe.
Oh, my God. Well, he stopped Gary Spike O'Sullivan last night in what I can only describe as, wow, Spike, you suck. We were talking about this before the show started, Andrew. Spike needs to go back to working St. Patrick's Day in Boston again.
Yeah, and unfortunately, his look outweighs his talent. I think he keeps getting called back because of just what he looks like. Lara, You know,
I didn't
Lara,
see anything special out of Lara for sure.
Hey, give him credit for making his little comeback, though. He's built a few wins. The Lamana knockout was impressive. That went viral for him, and then now he has a win over Spike O'Sullivan on a Gervonta Davis card that looks to have done good numbers, at least on the seats. So we'll see what the pay-per-view did. But I seen there were people talking about it. It made ESPN. Gervonta that should have did good for Lara last night.
What'd you
But
see?
it put me to sleep.
Oh my God, it was awful.
That's a good
I
way
went
to
back
top
to
it off
watching
there.
YouTube videos. Oh my God.
It's like despite
Spike
everything I
Sullivan
just said,
and that
it put me to sleep.
freaking mustache, man. Who does like? First of all, when I walk into a bar and I see a guy with a mustache like that, where it's waxed on the ends like that, I hate you immediately. Okay. And by the way, if you listen to the show and you have a mustache that has those little twisties at the end of it, shave your fucking mustache. All right. No man buns, no mustache. Like, stop. Okay.
Him and the Butcher. Is that guy named the Butcher? Who's the guy on Gangs in New York?
Yeah.
The guy,
yeah. That's exactly who it is. Fuck.
Yeah, we didn't see nothing special from Erislandy Lada yesterday. We it's the same Lara. It's nothing different. It's just he was in there with the guy who is can't take a punch anymore, really. I mean, it's not like Lara's exactly the knockout hitter at middleweight himself. So it just seemed like his punches were just too precise, and everything that Spike felt, he's like, oh shit, this hurt, and he was like ready to go down. He was looking for the door, but yeah, it wasn't exactly, they put Sullivan in there to put in there against Lara to kind of like give Lara some rounds. Gave him 8 solid rounds for as long as he could. Whatever, he went down. I was basically waiting for this fight to.
Club fighting.
He can do club fighting, yeah.
Boston.
Just not on a damn pay-per-view undercard as a co-main event.
It'll be great.
Like none of that stuff.
Just
anymore.
like in the day.
It'll be like can you like knock this dude out with a punch? At a carnival kind of deal.
Yeah, you can find a lovely Hispanic or Puerto Rican or a black person to go beat up on St. Patrick's Day who's got a bad record of like 25-30 or something, and go make 100. Like
he already fought Gabe Rosado.
Oh my God.
And I think Rosado knocked him out too, if I'm not mistaken.
Spike went downhill real fast. Spike, you have the look, kid. I'm just telling you where you need to go. Back to Boston. Okay? Move there. Go club fight. I'm sure there are plenty of bad fighters to fight.
Yeah, good bouncer.
Which takes us to the main event of the evening. Gervonta Davis versus Rolando Romero in the 6th. And I love my favorite line from this whole thing. I didn't even throw my left. He walked into it. So, for those of you who don't know, Gervonta threw him off the stage at the weigh-ins. He talked shit. Like, they talked shit literally till the second up to this fight. With literally, and I didn't put the stories up, there were at least this week a dozen real fighters who went, oh, Romero's got this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't, but now that he's gone from Mayweather officially as of this fight, I'm sure he's about to be PBC. I'm sure that's what's going to happen here, right?
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, it's pretty much PBC. It's
Mayweather's different.
Well,
because Mayweather's already moved on to the new guy.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true.
He likes one fighter at a time.
And by the way, one of those guys who was saying like, "Oh, Raleigh's going to take it," was Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about that here momentarily. But yes, people started hopping on the Romero bandwagon right before this fight.
Boy, he got beat like a drum. It wasn't even close. I mean, yeah, maybe in the first couple of rounds.
Well, it only went 6. I mean, it wasn't like it was 10 rounder, 11 rounder, but it only went 6, and it was literally just Davis waiting for that one shot. He barely threw that left, at all. He was throwing a little bit. He threw a couple of lead lefts that kind of snapped Romero's head back a few times. It didn't look like it hurt him that much. It was just more like a clean punch, and it was just a matter of time. It was Romero coming in with his head leaning forward the way he throws. Throws that his right hand with his chin in the air and leaning over his lead foot. Where his face goes over his lead foot hella. And it was just a matter of time before he got caught. I was trying to score.
Did he pull the full bitch move? Did I miss this at the end? Raleigh went full bitch and just left the ring at the end of the fight.
Not only did he go full bitch and leave the ring before the announcement, but during the post-fight press conference, he was even saying that like we should run it back, we should do it again, we should run it back.
What?
Oh, yes, he was like, I was winning the whole fucking fight and I got caught. We should run it back. Like, oh, buddy, no, please, no.
No, dude, you and your fur jacket got to go. I'm done.
It was that ego that got him into this fight, and
it sold it too. He made a good payday.
He made a good payday. He had the right game plan. The jab. Look he's making Gervonta Davis look like T-Rex arms all over again in the first, I don't know, 3-4 rounds. Hey, his jab's working. He's moving back. Gervonta's being Gervonta, coming forward, trying to get some contact. Because he didn't land he landed only about 2 significant punches first 3 or 4
until
rounds.
The 6th round, right? When he
but hear me out. He's doing fine. This kid is doing fine. Then he hits Gervonta, and it looks like he kind of wiggled Gervonta. All of a sudden, Rolando's like, "Oh, I got him. Now I'm just gonna hunt." And now Gervonta's on his back foot. Get you with the counter. Bam, you get hit now. Fucking stupid. Listen, that's inexperience right there. That got him this L on this fight. It's his corner's fault and it's Romero's fault. You were doing fine. Why did you start pressing the action? You're taller than him. Work behind the jab, keep your distance, and let that fucker keep coming in at you. And I don't mean that like out of disrespect. I'm just talking to you guys right now.
But how many years have we said it, Andrew?
If come in, that's all he knows. Yeah. That's all he knows. Now you're gonna play with fire? You're gonna go after him?
And he had Tank backing up damn near the whole fucking fight. He was controlling the center of the ring.
As I recall, he was in the corner and cut it off the ropes.
Yeah. And he was doing. I mean, it was just his game plan wasn't bad at all. It was just a matter of like him getting sloppy because every so often
he changes it.
He just throws it out the fucking window. He was pushing Tank back the whole time. I'm sure it didn't look good to the judges having Tank backpedal the entire fucking time. Every time they would get in the clinch, it looked like he was a stronger dude. He was, what's his name? Davis wasn't able to like muscle him around by any stretch. He was trying to every so often when he would try to clinch, you can tell that Rolando was basically chucking him off. So he was the naturally bigger dude, and the game plan was good up until that shot there, and every so often Tank would land that straight left, and it was just like a lead left, but nothing like even that one punch wasn't enough to win the round because of how bad it looked with him moving backwards. I don't know if Romero was winning every fucking round leading up to that, but he did win a few. It was relatively close still. Yeah, it was still early in the fight. And it was still only a few rounds, and it wasn't enough for us to be like, okay, Davis is really pulling ahead at this point, and then that fucking left, which again, as a matter of fact, just to what you mentioned, Lee, Davis saying that he didn't even really throw the punch. He didn't throw like a lot of power.
He just kind of ran into it.
Yeah, it was the classic southpaw. He dipped his head to the outside and threw that fucking hook, that left hook, and then he circled away from it, and then let Romero damn near fall out of the ring.
It was crazy. It was a crazy finish.
It was a great fucking finish.
He was never going to win that fight.
He would never have gotten the decision, period.
The ref was in Davis's pocket. They were about to start taking points away.
Yes. And here's what were they doing that? Like, I was watching on VIP Box. Shout out to VIP Box. So and that was during like a baby shower. So it's not like I can hear what the hell the people were saying. But I was trying to scoot closer to my laptop. Like, what is the referee warning Romero about? Like, he kept doing it a few times.
Under the sun, bro. Everything under the sun. I think he warned
pulling headlocks, whatever.
He warned him for hitting Davis. He's like, did you just hit him in the stomach? I need that higher. You need to be higher. You can't hit him that low. It wasn't low, but you can't hit him that low. Like, it was fucking pathetic. Anything. I think Davis, when he looked at the ref gave a warning last night. Jesus. Romero was not going to win that fight. I'm sorry. It just the knockout. I'm glad it happened for Romero, because at least Davis didn't allow that bullshit to take place because the ref was ready. He's ready. In the fucking 5th round, he's like, fast. One more time, I'm taking a point. One more time. It's his first low blow. Bro. And I don't even know if it landed low, but it's the first one, Miguel. And he literally tells him one more and the point's gone, and you're in round 5.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was a PBC. Look, they want to keep Gervonta. All right. He's clearly a talent. All right. No joke. I'm going to not jump on the bandwagon, but I'm going to safely say, all right, dude, you got talent. All right. You definitely belong to be here. You stepped up. You took out a guy who was undefeated. Like you went to work. Okay. And even though you didn't really punch him, the PBC gave him every chance. There's a reason there aren't scorecards out today. I can't find a scorecard.
Oh yeah, I haven't.
They're not out.
Huh.
Yeah, and I think the ref definitely knew that, and he was all over that fight. His fingerprints are going to be all over. As that fight got later on, no, I wouldn't have trusted that ref at all. Anyone listening better take his name and decline him for any fight that they're in versus the PBC because he's not neutral. It was bad. I thought I was just watching. I didn't think
the knockout was that bad either. I thought it was stopped kind of.
Oh yeah, hands are up. His hands are up. Listen, one more time though. The kid was green. He should have took the 8 count on one knee, then stood up. He stood up too fast. But this is shit he's all going to learn. Too bad he had to learn it in the biggest fight of his career. Idiots for putting him in there. We all knew. Listen, when you say Davis got talent, listen, you got to start. You ain't going to be a champion until you start fighting these higher guy rankings. Fucking Pitbull Cruz, whatever the fuck that dude's name is, wasn't shit. Nobody knew him. He had no fucking resume. He was just active, all highlights. He was all highlights. This guy, this Rolando kid, yeah. You know what I said? Oh, I like his mentality going into the fight. I like his mentality.
He reminds me of Costia. He's got that Costia 14-0. Like I'm coming in.
Miguel, I got no fight to go off of. I got nothing. I like his mentality going into it. Fuck that mentality bullshit. When you go in against the Camposos, the Lopezes, the Garcias, the Haney's, these guys have fucking resumes. The Stevensons, these guys have resumes. You ain't a big fish until you get into that pond. I can't get nothing from me beating fucking Rolando Romero, who had a good mentality going into the fight.
He had a nice fur jacket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
I did like the fur jacket.
He had like the Prince logo on his boots. Does that count?
I like that.
Yeah. The artist formerly known as Prince. I don't know what the fuck it was. I saw it in his Nike boots, and the only reason I saw it is because the camera was so close up on him when he fucking got knocked out.
All right, so here's the big question: Is he leaving the PBC so he doesn't have to fight the rest of the lightweights?
Who, Davis?
Yeah.
Is I mean, he's leaving Floyd. I don't know if he'll leave PBC per se. Because
right,
I mean,
who do they
they're
have?
gonna continue.
Haney is with Eddie.
Zone Matchroom, yeah. Or top rank.
Rank.
Yeah.
Top rank.
Top rank for the Cambosos fight. He's got a 3-fight deal now. Listen.
Can you imagine if Oscar or Bob signs this guy?
Hey, did you guys see who was at the fight last night? Just shaking Leonard Ellerby's hand?
Ryan Garcia.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I like that fight.
And you know what he said? Hey, what he said? Fuck Golden Boy. They got him on video.
Yep.
Fuck Golden Boy. Ryan Garcia last night, ringside.
As he should. As he should. Oscar's insane.
He's trying to get paid. He's trying to get paid.
I'm actually happy we've got a week of no Oscar news of him being crazy this week. Like, he didn't... whatever happened last night, somewhere in Pasadena, there was... Like, you could feel him die a little on the inside.
Yes, his only fucking star is like, it's like a voodoo doll when you like fucking pinch a voodoo doll, and it's like, miles away, he can feel it. Oh yeah, I would love to see his fucking reaction to that. The only thing we've heard from Oscar recently is talking about how Canelo playing golf hurt his career for fuck's sake. It's like that's what you're talking about. You're not talking about your own fucking homeboy. You know, you're a superstar over here talking about fuck Golden Boy and how he wants to throw you under the bus. And
how long before Hopkins jumps off that jet?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Oscar probably fucked up when he let Joe Goosen into that gym with Ryan Garcia.
Oh, yeah. I'm more sure Joe Goosen is legit. Joe Goosen is a champion maker.
No, but hear me out. Joe Goosen was like, "Hey kid, Uncle L got some tickets for you. Why don't you go to the fight this Saturday, man? We're from Big L."
Well, there's Goosen. Is Goosen Tudor still in business as a promoter?
He's still with PBC, bro.
He's the announcer. He's a fucking color commentator.
Well, yeah,
for
but
bitch.
For a while they had Goosen.
Come on,
Tudor.
Lee. Did you see where Ryan Garcia was sitting? behind Spence,
Fucking
behind
garbage,
Dan
yeah.
Garcia, right
Next to, as
fucking
if he was
Ford,
part of the
dude,
PBC stable. It was
Big
just
L
like another
gave him those
PBC fight.
tickets and those He was like, hey Joe, when you're training the kid, go ahead and give him this, huh? Oh yeah, he got
Bring him
an
to the fight.
envelope.
Bring him to the fight. It'll be okay.
Oscar's like,
You
what
want
the
us to send the
fuck?
jet for you? We'll send the jet.
Hey, and they took his money. Then he goes and bets fucking. He's
20K.
bet on Instagram 20 racks, $20,000. I got Romero. Not only they got him there, making him say "fuck Golden Boy," then they took 20,000 from him, sent his ass home.
All right. So what's next for Gervonta Davis?
I think there's a certain part of him, like we know to some degree that De La Hoya, or I'm sorry, not De La Hoya, Floyd tried to protect him as much as he could, right? Protect him as much as he can up
I got
until
hiccups.
this point. Oh, geez, is that Tito's calling you?
No.
Is that Tito's?
No, it's not. Acid reflux.
Oh, I see.
Horrible.
Go ahead, Miguel.
Go ahead, Miguel.
So I'm thinking, at some point, similar to to fucking Ryan with the Golden Boy, when the promoter's trying to protect you, and the fighter's like, no, I think I could beat these guys. Let me at them, and the promoter's like, no, it's gonna be difficult. Let me just keep making you money without having to fight these tough dudes. At some point, the fighter himself is like, no, I gotta fight these guys. Because for their own damn ego, for their own damn legacy, right? To whatever extent. So I think now that he's out of the Mayweather contract, I think he's going to leave PBC. I think he's going to leave PBC. I think he's going to go somewhere where they have more other top, like in his head, he can beat these other guys. Whether or not he actually can is another story, but he's going to have a shot at it. So I think he's going to leave PBC and he's going to hop on board with some of the other guys. I don't know. Can Top Rank afford him at this point? They just got fucking Haney. I don't know if it's going to be the same case or not with similar contracts. But anyway, I think he leaves them and he's going to find himself in another big fight soon, like a name, an official name, not somebody like Rolando, but official fucking name. Again, whether or not he wins or loses is another story. But I think he's done with like this kind of sort of being protected part.
Andrew?
He might be the hottest prospect this morning, you guys. Look, the guy's in a killer division. He obviously has ungodly power that can get him out of bad situations. He's undefeated. He has the heart to fight anyone. He's expressed that. I think it has been Mayweather that's been holding him back with Mayweather's little you got to go my blueprint. I did this, I did that.
Fight everybody in-house. That's his thing.
Yes, and I think it's time for him. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna see what these guys are offering on as far as money on the table. And he definitely gets to sign somewhere else. Hopefully, it's with Top Rank and ESPN. They seem to do the best for their fighters. Now, with that also being said, I still go back to he got touched a lot again last night. Did you guys see the one shot where he threw his arm out?
Where he kind of winced. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Gervonta, his name is the Tank. I've always hit heavy on his name and how it reflects his fighting. They need to get him started sooner than later. We're done. Last night he has graduated, just like Jermell, man. These two have graduated from this PBC mold bullshit. It's time for fucking Al Heyman to get some real balls and put his fighters out there and let them. And you know what? That's what Gervonta. I don't even know if Gervonta he's Al Heyman's probably his manager, correct?
Yeah, or advisor, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah,
Advisor,
whatever.
Yeah, so he's still under that umbrella. Maybe not officially a PBC fighter, but if L's your advisor, you're fucking L's guy. So Al Heyman needs to let both of these guys go. They've done everything. They've made him a lot of money. They're both still undefeated. It's time to Jermell has one loss. Excuse me, he has one defeat. But it's time to release them and let them see what they can do out there in the big world, man. So I'm all for Gervonta Davis fucking this morning. I hope that he left Floyd Mayweather and he's looking at Top Rank because Eddie Hearn does nothing for you. American fighters, Eddie Hearn.
Oh my God,
sucks.
I would love for him to sign with Golden.
I would not be surprised if we see him ringside for Cambosos and Haney next week. That would be
No.
some
Well,
shit.
that
when
would
he
be
flies over there.
right.
That would be dope ass. That would be badass. And Andrew, what do you think it was that was his hand that was the problem? Because he did wince, but I'm not sure if it was like his shoulder because he kind of missed the shot, or one of those like he hit the dude on the shoulder or on the elbow and it kind of fucked his knuckle kind of deal. What did it look like? Because I couldn't rewind it. I was watching it on the VIP box, so I couldn't rewind anything. But it looked like, was it his hand or was it his shoulder? What do you think it was with
I
when
thought
he
it was his shoulder and elbow hyperextension. To me, it looked like he missed the punch, man. He
Yeah.
missed the punch and he just winced. You know, he was able to get it back. So maybe it was just a snapping. You know, sometimes you snap your elbow, it hurts for a while, but then it kind of goes away, and you know, hopefully there's no damage later on. But maybe it was something like that. But I definitely thought he missed the punch that made him wince.
Yeah, because I saw that, and you know how like what was it? Was Floyd when Floyd landed that shot on her? I think it was Hernandez, right? Where he kind of hit him on the top of or Chavez. I'm sorry, Chavez.
Jesus Chavez, yes, sir.
Yeah, and it landed like on top of his head, and I was like, oh shit! I kind of thought that's what it was for a hot second. I was like, oh damn, did he like hit him on the top of his head, or maybe he hit Rolando on the elbow or something? Because he went for a hot second, and I was like, oh shit! And I was kind of concerned. I was like, man, this is gonna. I hope this doesn't like somehow alter the fight to some degree and end up something ends up happening where Rolando wins some weird ass bitch decision because of an injury like that. Thankfully that didn't happen, but like I couldn't rewind it, so I was like, man, what the hell was it? What was it that he was injured? I didn't realize that's what it was. I hope it's nothing too serious, because when the adrenaline is running and they're like warmed up and everything, they don't feel anything. But once they head back to the locker room and they cool off, they start feeling their injuries, and hopefully it was nothing too serious or anything like that's going to keep them out of action.
If it wasn't that punch, it was a combination of missed punches. Once again, I thought Rolando was doing a great job of making fucking Gervonta look like T-Rex arms, man. That dude was coming up 4 inches short on some of his shots because the kid was out by. He had a reach on him. Soon as he threw 2 steps back, you're not even close. You're not. He had that reflex, that cat-like reflex, until he hurts him, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm gonna come for you now. Here I come. Oh, you fuck.
Which takes us to next week, sometime in the morning.
Yeah.
Kambosos Haney. It's really going to happen.
Yes. Finally.
Finally. I still don't believe the fight's going to happen, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
I still live in somebody's going to get the AIDS.
Oh, no. So watch, it's going to be somebody in fucking like...
Wow. How very Australia. Lucas Brown
versus
versus Junior Fa in heavyweights. That's crazy to me. Like, I haven't heard Junior Fa's in forever, and I didn't even know Lucas Brown still fought.
Wow, who else?
You need a glass of water, bro.
I know, but I'm doing the show.
No one cares about the undercard. This is all about Haney versus Kambosos.
It'll be at what, 9 o'clock in the morning?
They both look like they're in great shape.
They're not going to do it early or morning on their end, so we can get it in the evening on our end. They're not going to do that.
I don't know.
Because I haven't seen like any sort of like time differences. I mean, times listed or anything like that for us to kind of get. I mean, fuck, if it's early in the morning, I'm waking up. I don't give a shit about anybody fucking. If it's 4 a.m, I'll do that shit.
Yeah, we've done that. And the other one, I'm interested in Fulton versus Roman. You're going to put 2 belts together for the junior featherweight titles.
Yes,
that's a good scrap.
Fuck yeah. That is going to be a good scrap.
Decent. Yeah, Fulton's the one that he banged with Figueroa, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
This should be fun.
That was a good fight.
That's a good Saturday.
That is a real good Saturday.
See, is that Top Rank, you guys? Is that just Top Rank?
No, Showtime is Fulton Roman, and then Top Rank is Kambosos Haney.
Yeah.
All right.
No, they're both PBC fuckers.
Well, no, not the ESPN.
Well, whatever. Oh. Showtime promotes. I don't even know what Steven Espinosa's gig is. I don't even do Steven Espinosa jokes anymore. I'm so over Steven Espinosa.
We got to bring it back for all time's sake.
Yeah, we'll bring back the calculator one day. Probably after this fight when he won't release numbers. But you're going to combine the WBC and the WBO. That's really good.
Yes, that's unification. I mean, love it, right? I mean,
yeah.
Well, actually, hold on. Wait. I think Fulton already has both of those. Yeah, he's just defending both against Roman.
So from what I'm seeing, the fight in the USA, Kambosos versus Haney, will be at 7 p.m. Eastern.
4 o'clock for us.
So what is that?
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Yeah,
4 p.m. Pacific. Yes, sir.
See, that
works. Boxing.
Hell yeah.
And then right behind it, Fulton and Roman.
And let me.
Roman.
Nah, yeah. It has to be. Yes, 7 p.m. It says p.m. It says p.m.
Yeah,
All
they've
right,
only
I
got
just don't
2
wanna
fights
fuck everyone.
actually listed in Minneapolis.
And that's for the main event, you guys. So everyone out there, that 7 p.m. is supposed to be the start time of the main event,
Oh, really? So not the fight card then. The main
not
event
the
itself.
fight card. So
I might watch Lucas Brown and Junior Fa. I can't believe they're still fighting. But the only time I ever hear Junior's name is when there's an Australian fight. I think
That would make sense.
he's not Australian. I think he's New Zealand, technically.
With a last name like Fa, probably.
Probably. There's nobody else on this card. Oh my god,
man, this is some bullshit. I'm gonna send this to you guys. You guys see what this is saying here.
All right.
I'm fucking
Fair enough.
Yeah, we'll need another set of eyes on that.
Yes, sir, we do.
So everybody go to boxingtonight.io. You can get every episode where apparently I'm going to die in the last 10 minutes of acid reflux and hiccups because Andrew told a joke that made me hiccup. It's been this way for like the last day. I'm cutting weight. So I've got too much acid reflux happening. But too much inside baseball. Go to boxingtonight.io. There you can find a news feed, all the episodes, all our social media.
That's when it starts. I'm a dork. 7 p.m. is when it starts. 12 a.m. will be the main event Eastern time. 12 a.m. Eastern will be the main event start time.
12, so not
You
9
guys
o'clock.
get-
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Perfect.
Same times.
Okay.
Split screen.
You
That
guys
works.
will be getting that.
Two
Go ahead and
screens.
confirm it. I don't want to fuck it up for this
Fulton
fight.
will be at about 9 o'clock too, usually. I mean, but that's Minnesota. So 9 o'clock in Minnesota would be 8.
Wait, hold
7.
on. So
7.
the main event is 12 a.m. Eastern. That's 12 a.m.
Yes.
Eastern Sunday.
Yeah.
So
9.
so it'll be 9. So then 9 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah. And
Yes,
then the
Okay, cool.
showtime,
That's
Fulton
main event. That's when the main event
Roman
starts.
should be
Yeah.
at about
co-
8.
The card itself is like whatever 6 or whatever p.m.
Yep.
Pacific.
Well, I
So the
mean,
card-
if you want to watch
Yep.
Pom Than Wuk,
well,
I took him.
I mean, it's gonna be
How do you
early.
even say this name? Wow.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Pom
Wow.
Than
That-
what?
Thanawut Falcom.
Petcom
Thanawut Falcom. That's the
against
last.
Hussein Fayed. Oh wow,
I
that
don't-
seems racist. I don't even know what this is. I think this is going to be a dude from Thai,
Yes, most likely.
and this is definitely not anything with Hussein's not going to work. It's
Right.
It's just not going to be a good night for him.
That name should be retired at this point.
I would technically retire.
Like, yeah, they should just like bring it up in the fucking rafters.
What's my
to,
name?
like,
Hussein. Oh
Yeah.
no, you got to change it.
call it a day.
What do you want, Bob?
A dictator wall of fame that just retires names. Like,
Yes, just raising the jersey, putting it up there
I'm
in
Bob,
the fucking
I'm
rafters.
Bob Fayed.
No more. Should be it.
What do you mean? I'm legally changing my name to Bob. What? Bob Fayed. You're named Hussein, son. Yeah, cool. No.
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 They beat me up at school, Dad.
Yes, Dad. They try to hang
Oh
me
my
in school,
God.
Dad. It's
He
not
lives
gonna work.
here in the States. And I'm sure that there are people named Hussein here in the States. God bless you. I would have changed my name to Ralph. I don't care. Pick one, Judge.
So just throw a fucking dart at the wall. It's like,
Yeah,
all right,
Right.
you
have
are
a-
now
you have a name
officially
wall?
Jeffrey.
Throw
Okay,
it.
Jeffrey. Here we go.
I'm not even sure about the Fayed part. Ralph Smith. What? Ralph Smith. You kind of look
Just,
like a
just change the
saint.
whole name. Change the whole name, not even just everything.
Oh, the Fayed part actually hurts more.
Oh.
Oh, my God. You guys got to stop making me laugh. I got to eat food and quit cutting weight. And we are 1 week away from the fight that I am so jacked up about.
hmm
Ah,
That's gonna be good.
in a way, Donaire. Ah,
Oh, that's
Tuesday.
a couple of weeks, isn't it? Oh,
No.
Tuesday
Seven.
night.
yeah. I am
Wow.
so excited about this fight. It's dumb. I'm literally excited.
How about the
this
time
fight.
on how the times on that one? Does anybody know the times on that one? Like a
I think
start
the
time.
time's gonna be
Tuesday.
weird.
Is that another assignment?
Oh,
In a way, I'm gonna look that shit up. Yeah, I don't know.
oh my God. I am so jacked up about this fight.
I sure as hell
This
hope
is
it's not,
it,
that one's not
Andrew.
gonna be in the morning.
This is the last time I'm on the Nonito Donaire train. Period.
Oh, I know. No, this is his last
Either that or
hurrah
he's
right
delivering
here.
milk with his brother.
Oh, will you stop? I hope that he's made enough money. I hope
right?
that he's made enough money,
The
Lee.
brother's delivery person, right?
He still has. He lives an awesome life. I
You
hope
see
he
him
has
every once
his
in a while?
money. Who, the brother?
Yeah.
Actually, I did run into him it was probably last year last time I seen Glenn. I believe he's Glenn Donaire.
Glenn's a good dude. Nonito
Yeah,
and
they always
Glenn
were,
have been
both
great.
brothers.
And by the way, historically, for those who are not longtime people, Nonito and Glenn have been great to the show. They've done interviews. They're great humans. They really are. But I just don't want Nonito to keep getting hit like that. And Nailway is scary. Nailway, in a way, is legit. I was there in Vegas and saw it live. He scared the crap out of me.
When you watch both brothers train, it always looked like Glenn technically was better. It sounded than Nonito. Hands are up, defense, combination, just everything looked better, right, in the gym. They never transformed into the ring, and it was Donaire's power, his just natural gifted left hook that just separated him from the rest. So it was really weird seeing that because, when you seen them train against each other, you'd be like, man, Glenn's a pretty damn good fighter. But he just didn't. He lacked the power, maybe the speed, everything else that you need to make it to the higher rankings in professional boxing.
So there you guys go. Kambosos Haney at 9? ? Check our website. We'll put it up.
Yeah, 9 p.m. most likely.
Fulton Roman should be about 8 o'clock on the West Coast. And then on Tuesday, in a way,
this one's a weird one. I looked this one up, guys, and it's saying starting, it says the undercard bouts live stream on ESPN Plus starting at 5 a.m. Eastern. That's 2 a.m. Pacific. On Tuesday. That's when the undercard starts. So I don't know. Thankfully, my work shift is at 4 a.m., so I'll be up and I'll watch it.
There you guys go. You're all caught up. Go to boxingtonight.io. Go to our social media. I'm sure both of these guys will post. Mm-hmm. Hopefully my hiccups will be gone. You got to stop making me laugh during the show, Andrew. Jesus. It's too fucking hilarious. The Bob Hussein thing is hilarious. I love that. Check us out. Go to boxingtonight.io. We actually appreciate everybody who engaged in social media. What fight are you guys most excited about this week? I think we're all voting that we want to see Haney Kambosos.
I want to see Junior Fa. No, I'm kidding. I want to see.
I do.
Hey,
all right.
It could be a ripple effect in the whole lightweight division. This fight could set everything off, and we almost got it. I think COVID dropped it from starting it already with the Ryan Garcia Kambosos Lopez angle that we had, but now we're just getting more fighters, and hopefully this sets off something again.
Make a pick.
I think we already got it. I think last night with Tank, I think that might be.
He should be in Australia.
That might be the beginning of
this dude needs to get on a jet and go down there. Sit there ringside.
Yeah, especially because he's a free agent. I would agree to that because he's a free agent this morning. Because if he's under Mayweather's banner, there's no guarantee that he allows him to swim in the big pond.
All right, who's your pick?
Horses are approaching the starting gate.
Andrew's betting on horses. I've got hiccups. What a show, everyone. What a show.
Hey, pick going. Look, I'm going to stay USA, man. Stay with Devin Haney's going to bring this title home. 12-round decision. Great fight. Devin Haney, I think, takes a unanimous decision, Lee.
Mr. Barragan.
This one's tough. I've kind of gone back and forth a couple of times. I have to think that Haney's speed is going to win at the end. I'm going to have to say it's not going to be unanimous. It's going to be a split decision. I think Haney's going to bring the belts back home, but it's going to be split.
All right, because I'm on a losing streak. I'm 2 in a row on losing streaks. I'm gonna do me. Take the overs. Okay, this is definitely going to a decision. I don't think either of these guys are going to do that. And then I like, you ready? Kambosos by decision. In Australia? Come on. He'd have to be
if it's
dead.
Close, it's going his way.
You think Bob's not going to wheel that dude out of the ring with a decision in Australia?
115 to 113. 113 to 115.
That's right.
And then the final one.
And then it's going to be like 117, 111. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. There's always one of those.
Yeah.
The craziest thing about
those
today
shit's pretty
is
good.
not seeing the Gervonta Davis scorecard.
Shit.
When's the last time we had a fight?
Hey, that's
where
more
the fight
points
card-
than the 12 rounds. What the fuck?
Well, this one's going the distance.
Four
These guys
Cambosos.
don't have knockout power.
No doubt. That was classic.
It'll be fun. And by the way, when is the last time we actually didn't see fight cards after a fight day?
Yeah. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to go look.
That's a little sketchy. Way to go, PBC. Keeping it real. Real bad. Fuck the PBC. God damn. God. I cannot believe the PBC. I cannot believe Showtime. It all makes me so mental. The fact that I actually watched boxing last
Uncharted
night.
waters coming up for the PBC here soon with the Crawford and Spence. This is really, really a big moment for Al Heyman if he gets this fight off.
Well, he managed to pull off Tyson Fury Deontay, right? Like, so he could
ESPN,
swallow his pride just enough to make fights happen.
ESPN was involved though, Lee. ESPN was
Do you
involved.
think Charlo's ever going to fight anybody with all those belts?
As long as he doesn't have opponents at the junior middleweight level that Al Heyman's willing to pay him to face him. That Fonfara and that Zoo they look doable. Fonfara right now seems like he's been accepted from the PBC fan base as a legit contender, and Zoo is Zoo, right? Charlo could fight Zoo. He's gonna make money across the pond doing it. He'll make money over here doing it. So those fights are capable. I just hope Charlo looks at the clock that he has left as being in his prime, because I believe he's in his early 30s now, and we need to step up. We need some pay-per-view fights. We need, I want to play with the big guys, and make that real money that they all dreamed about when they got with Al Heyman. They all wanted to make the Floyd fucking Pacquiao money. Well, you got to start fucking fighting the bigger guys to get that money. So that's what I'm hoping with Charlo, that he tells Heyman he wants to move on from the junior middleweights.
What would you like to add? Wait, we haven't done this in a while. Would you take me out Jim Lampley style, Miguel?
Jim Lampley style? You mean Larry Merchant?
Larry Merchant. Yes. Sorry. Forgive me. It's been so long. In the history of boxing, Jim, we've seen a lot of fighters. We have. Too many for me to count. I think as many as Bob can count. Floyd Mayweather is the biggest piece of crap on the planet. Sorry.
And if
that's
I was
still my
50
favorite
years
thing
younger,
ever on
I'd beat the
HBO.
shit
That
out
is
of him.
still my favorite. If I was half the, oh my God, you still wouldn't have kicked his ass, bro. What are you talking about, Merchant? Was Merchant even a boxer when he made that statement?
I don't think so. I don't think he ever put on a pair of gloves. I think he was just like journalism the whole
half
time.
my age, you would do what? Get knocked out? Oh, so great. So great. If I was a man half my age, you'd be a man half your age getting knocked out by Mayweather. Dumbass. What a dumbass. Like, that's the greatest HBO moment of all time. And there have been some great HBO moments. That one ranks right up. If I was a man half my age, what? You would do what? What are you talking about? Jim, in the history of boxing, all right, you take us out. Miguel.
Oh, jeez.
Too stressful?
We'll say Jim. Cambosos is a vegetarian, but he fights like a carnivore.